Chet can open doors without even knowing he can open doors. And that was one of the reasons we decided, originally we were talking about, because with anything, I mean, there's production costs no matter what. Even people that always said, oh, you got this big $1 million record deal. It's like, well, essentially, that's $1 million loan that you get from a record label. So, I mean, so there's costs involved with it. But we were like, you know what? The pros for recording, in that studio with those guys far outweighs, saving a little money and recording at a local studio and trying to get stuff out. And I mean, proof's in the pudding with what we've been able to do. And I laughed because when the first single came out, this back when Vivo was still a music station. And the Break Me single came out. And the very first day, it had like 10,000 views. And, we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing. We have arrived. And, we look back nowadays. I mean, we're even lucky enough to look back and it goes, 10,000 views. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's the growth that recording with Chet allotted us to have because, we've learned over the years. I mean, we have definitely taken the slow roll path to success as a band. We've pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps and kind of done everything ourselves and discovered, the long road of the ladder. It's a step-by-step process. I mean, very rarely does lightning strike to where you jump from the bottom to the top rung of the ladder. Now it happens, but it doesn't happen very often. And I was sitting with a friend of mine the other day and we were talking about it, and he's a little older than I am. And he's like, I can't believe, people always ask me, like, you're so lucky that, you just got to do all these things. He's like, man, luck really had nothing to do with it. It's like, a lot of people don't have to see all of the hard work and the years of work that it's taken. And when we got to Chet, a lot of that started to be able to pay off because we were allowed to use those ends. Now we've got different management companies that we're allowed to work with and, club owners that we're wanting to work with. Live Nation is now starting to call and say, hey, do you want to play shows with us here? And, it was really just that, nobody's seen from ages 18 up to this point, all the work that's gone into it. And we finally start to realize some of the, the fruits of all that labor, all with the help of Chet.
Yeah. The one thing Chet does so well, Chet really showed us how to write songs. Because Chet would be, we have a song and Chet would be like, he kind of would just kind of rearrange it. And, we're like,
okay,
what's this,
Yeah.
But it's like, I go back and I listen to it. I'm like, man, that song's so much better because of what Chet did. And basically, I mean, some of it's pretty simple, but some of it's also like, hey, this fits way better here than here. And it's like, hey, Dean, don't try to do this, do this.
Yeah.
And when Chet or Marshall, would say that's like, okay, we do it, but it
Absolutely.
in terms of maturing as like songwriters, I can't tell you how much Chet is instrumental in that. I mean, he's a major factor in that.